Hello, welcome to the Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman podcast. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Theresa Bateman, and every week I'm going to sit down with a member of my creative community to discuss our traumas, big and small. From the petty to the PTSD to the punchlines of our best jokes, the issues of today, our triggers of the week, and our most problematic opinions, and ultimately how we find the funny in the bad shit that's happened to us. In the end, we'll form a lasting bond. A trauma bond. Sit back, listen, and bond with us, won't you?
And light another dude, cause it's what? It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman. Today, I am joined by, such a wonderful, impressive, lovely guest. She is an award-winning filmmaker, screenwriter, actress, dancer, and teacher. Her 15 years co-founding and leading large moms groups in Los Angeles, raising over $170,000 in direct mutual aid for her community, and creating spaces where women have the opportunity to support and uplift each other, have informed every piece of storytelling she's involved in. She has a BFA in drama from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. Shout out my alumnus, where she trained with the Atlantic Theater Acting School and later served on its faculty for several years. And she has her MFA in screenwriting from the David Lynch Graduate School of Cinematic Arts. Her screenplay Mad, Bad, Dangerous to Know, which was co-written by actor and filmmaker Emily Robinson, won the Best Unproduced Screenplay at the Raindance Film Festival and was a 2024 semifinalist for the Academy's Nickel Fellowship. Her latest script, This Way Comes, was a top 10 finalist for Roadmap's top tier competition, won Best Feature Screenplay at the Big Apple Film Festival, and was chosen for the prestigious Stowe Narrative Lab. Her 4 award-winning short films have screened at dozens of festivals worldwide, including Aspen Shortsfest, HollyShorts, Outfest, Raindance, Bentonville, Damn Short, Mill Valley, Nevada City, and Indie Memphis. Are you impressed yet? She produced and co-stars in the feature film I Hate Myself and Want to Die, which premiered at the Austin Film Festival to sold-out crowds and will be released this year in 2026. She joined the faculty of the American Film Institute in 2024, teaching in their MFA Directing program. As an actress, she has guest starred on numerous network TV shows, appeared in films such as Charlie Day's directorial debut, Fool's Paradise, and had a recurring role in the Apple Plus series For All Mankind. She's a frequent collaborator with the prolific Duplass Brothers. Is it Duplass Brothers?
It's Duplass Brothers.
Duplass. And that's a lesson for me, even though I'm a fan. I never knew how to actually correctly pronounce their name. Duplass Brothers. She's featured in their films The Freebie and Magic Hour and Manson Family Vacation. She also guest starred in their acclaimed HBO series Togetherness and Room 104. I love those. Gotta go back and rewatch so I can find you. She is the creator and host of Mothering Heights, a weekly podcast exploring the intersection of caretaking, creativity, and community. She also co-founded the Los Angeles Women's Film Collective and the popular LA Moms group Nela Mamas. She is a board member emeritus of the Independent Shakespeare Company, which brings free Shakespeare performances to nearly 40,000 Angelinos every summer in Griffith Park, and serves as a founding and advisory council member of the legendary Vidiots Foundation. Good God, can you believe she has time to sleep? I love her so much. She's also one of my beloved dance community members. Please join me in welcoming Leonora Pitts.
Yay! Thank you.
I've never
that
been.
bio was intense hearing it say out loud. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay because, hey, this is the thing, too. It's like when you're creative and you've been involved in all these things and you're trying to, make things happen for yourself, you need to, it's like, oh, yeah, I've done a fucking lot, huh?
Yeah. And I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, that's the thing.
Exactly.
That's not 5 years of a life. Do you know what I mean?
That's
that is several
you're in
decades
it.
of a work.
Yes.
Of a life. Yeah.
So impressed. I watched Togetherness when it was airing, so long before I knew you, but now I'm like, I gotta go back and find you.
I play Amanda Pete's BFF.
Oh my God.
In Texas. Yeah, it was such a fun shoot. And I was three of the other guest stars on that episode, we were all nursing moms.
Oh my
And so we were
gosh.
shooting at this bar, this Western bar out in the valley, like Sunland or something.
Mhm.
And we kept having to break, and we would all go in the bathroom to pump together. It
Oh
was
my God,
really, really
that's so
cute. Yeah.
beautiful. Because it's like the whole having to pump at work kind
Yep.
of situation, but
We were doing it
luckily,
together. It
yeah,
was
doing
really
it together,
sweet. And of
that's
course, because it
so
was Mark and Jay Duplass, they were like, no, go for it. Whatever you need to do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely, of course.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh my God, I mean, they're your friends, obviously, of such a dream. What's it like to work with them? So nice.
They're amazing. I mean, they, from a very early point in my career here, just became big cheerleaders of mine. And they've sort of created this like stable of amazing creatives, actors and writers and directors and editors and music composers, and sort of like an entire film culture. Like you could crew a whole movie just from this stable of people that they hang out with.
Yeah.
And they have like pushed me in directions that I didn't expect to go. Like for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, both of them were like, you're a producer, you're a producer, you're a producer. And I was like, I just don't do paperwork. I
Yeah.
am not interested. If you put SAG paperwork in front of me, my eyes go cross and like my ADHD takes over,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Alfie's going to jump down
Oh,
here. Okay, bye,
okay.
Alfie.
See, bye.
That's Teresa's dog. And so, but they were like, that's not the kind of producer we're talking about,
Yeah.
And so then finally an opportunity did come up where my friend Jay Davis, who's really close with Jay Duplass, who had directed me in Manson Family Vacation,
Mm-hmm.
where I play Jay's wife, Jay Duplass's wife. Um, he needed a producer for his feature, I Hate Myself and Want to Die. And
Mm-hmm.
so Jay said, you need to talk to Leonora. And I was
Mm-hmm.
very upfront. I was like, look, if you put one if there's like anything having to do with like like filling out forms or things, I'm going to fail. Like I won't be
Yeah.
good at that part of it.
Yeah.
But if you need someone who can like keep your crew happy, inspire people to like be excited to be at work, like like smooth things over, problem solve,
Relational
relation, yes,
expertise.
exactly. And I always
Yeah.
think that, as I'm a mother of two, and when you're a mom, you're constantly future casting.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. So like when you have little kids, when you leave the house, you're like, who's going to get hungry? Who's going to get cranky? Who's going to need to use the bathroom because they had a burrito for breakfast and things might get, you know what I mean? Like,
Little dicey.
what's that going to be like? And so like you're always imagining like, what are all the possible things that can go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
What if people fall asleep in the car? What if whatever?
Yeah.
And that's what producing is. Producing is like looking forward at the day and the whole shoot and going like, what are all the things that could happen?
Yeah.
And then what are the ways that I will have already imagined I can solve it?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do every single day as a mom. So I ended up producing this feature, and it was so hard, and everything that could go wrong did.
Yeah.
Just because there was weather problems, there was illness, we were shooting in the desert, and there were windstorms and snowstorms. And I mean, it was absolutely insane.
That's kind
And
of
we just had to like, yeah,
classic.
exactly. And it was great because I was also learning from the other producers on the set. And yeah, it ended up being it's a great movie. It's coming out this year.
I'm
Anyway,
so excited. I want to
so
see
I know.
it.
So Mark and Jay are, they have a no asshole policy, which I think
Great.
everybody should,
Yes. Bare
you know,
minimum.
yes, at the very least.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's what, like, the egos, because that's something that was so interesting going to Tisch for film, is there was even in the undergrad, a lot of egos. By the time I got to like my thesis film and was looking for a DP, oh my God, they were so, I'm like, guys, we're still in college.
Yeah.
Please relax.
Chill.
Like,
Chill.
chill out.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
your
yeah.
ego's this bad now, yikes. You know?
Well, and they'll get a cold shower.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
totally.
mean, there's, ego is it's an ugly beast, especially in our biz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Such a slippery slope.
It
Oh my
really,
God.
really
But
is.
that reminds me too of like all that, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I was doing some producing during college for some grad student films because I worked at the Tisch Post Production Center, and then I would meet a lot of grad students because I worked on the 10th floor mostly. And then I ended up producing one, and oh my God, there was one day of the shoot, and this is a bunch of grad students, but at that point I was like a fourth year in my program, and they were
Mhm.
a first or second year in theirs, so they didn't. So I actually had more knowledge in production than they did,
Right.
and they tried to set up a light right under some sprinklers in this bar we were shooting in, and I was like, guys, you can't do that, and they didn't listen to me. They were just like, we're fine, we're good, we got this.
She's
And
a
then
girl.
yeah, exactly. And then they put it under there, and then the sprinklers went
Oh
off
my
in the middle of the and flooded the bar, and then we lost like half the day.
My God,
But I
that's
was like,
so
am I
gnarly.
trying to tell you?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to tell you. Yeah. Oh my
Trying to
God, that's
let you
so
know.
irritating.
Yeah, deeply. Okay, that maybe kind
Yeah.
of segues into my first question for you is, in the just insane amount of options you have right now in this current state and climate, what is there anything in particular you would consider to be your trigger of the week? Anything really pissing you off, grinding your gears?
Yeah, I mean, macro, obviously,
Yeah.
everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like, it's just
100%.
amazing to wake up every day and be like, what fresh hell? You
Yeah.
know, like it is wild to be living through this time.
Yes.
That goes without saying. We're all experiencing it,
Yep.
and we don't have to unpack it
Yeah.
because
1000%.
it's horrible.
It's
Everything about it is
constant.
horrible.
Yeah.
Although I do just like my favorite sort of way to like soothe my cortisol spikes is to imagine him shitting himself
Yes.
uncontrollably. Like that is my favorite thing to be like, I hope he has the worst stomach ache today and that he
Yeah.
just can't stop shitting himself. But that aside,
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest trigger this week, and this is not because of anyone specifically or anything specifically, but it is our group chat.
Yeah.
Because I have had this catastrophic ankle injury.
Oh, yeah.
And I have been out of dance. I've been a dancer since I was 3. I was a
Mhm.
professional dancer for a time, and it's my biggest love and most
Yeah.
important thing besides my kids and my life. And I blew my ankle in a performance that we did in September,
Yeah.
and it has been really slow to heal.
Yeah.
And so when I open the group chat and people are talking about new classes that are at the Pickle
Yeah.
Factory where we dance or sharing the videos, it makes me so happy. I'm able to be like, I love my hoe chat, like I love my
Yeah.
dance hoes, and look how beautiful they all are, and isn't this amazing, and aren't we lucky? And
And fuck, I
fuck.
wish I could be there.
Yeah.
And not to the same degree, but I do for when my toe was broken last year. That's how I was like, oh, I love seeing them, and also I'm so sad. But this injury has been ongoing, and we miss you so much. And I'm like, oh, are there any updates?
Yeah,
Like,
so actually yesterday I'm in PT,
yeah,
and my ankle was bothering me the last couple weeks in a way that was making me feel even more discouraged, like really
yeah.
like, oh boy, this is,
Oh,
I think, something really bad. But yesterday in PT, I had sort of some breakthroughs, and
oh,
I
good.
have sort of some new exercises, and it felt really good yesterday after PT, and it feels really good
Oh,
today.
good.
So I'm cleared to go to
Okay.
dance, so I might go
Okay,
tomorrow.
I hope you are able to come tomorrow. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, come and let it be okay, let it be okay. Because
I
you're
know.
also, I talked to Rachel about this too when she did the podcast. It was like, it was you and her that I was like, don't let me do too much when I'm coming back with because it was my toes, my
Your
Achilles on the
Achilles.
other. And
Yeah.
that is like, that's actually been for the last like 2 months, knock on wood, has been totally fine with like, it's kind of, I felt it a little bit this week with the rain,
Oh, interesting.
which is yeah, something. The cold and the rain, it's like come back a little, but I've just been taking it easy and doing my stretches and like wearing sneakers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like it's so easy to tweak something, and then it's like you really, I know somebody else in our group chat got injured recently, and I was like, please heed my warning. I
Yeah.
did not rest my Achilles enough when it happened last year, and I've dealt with it for a full year almost.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
that's
It's hard. Ankles are gnarly.
yeah, and the downside of being an athlete and someone
Mhm.
who loves to move your body in
Yeah.
dance class is like
And I'm
injuries
just like, it's
happen.
funny because I got really emotional in PT yesterday because, you know, I I transmute every sling and arrow that is flung at me
Mm-hmm.
as a human being in dance class.
Yeah.
And so to not have that outlet means that I'm like not getting that release of the things that happen every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On the macro and the micro.
Yeah.
And I can feel it. And, you know, I
Yeah.
was yesterday at PT, I mean, I love my physical therapist. Shout out
Yeah.
Myo Detox in Studio City.
Hey.
They're the best. And they were wonderful, of course. They were like, of course, this is frustrating. Like,
Yeah.
you've had a catastrophic injury. And like,
Yeah.
and also the other thing is because I've been a dancer since I was 3, I don't have a baseline that is pain free.
Yeah.
And I think that's normal for a lot of dancers,
Yeah.
like just to live with pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really hard for me to explain to them how I'm feeling.
Right.
Because I remember one time my PT, Charlene, she said to me, so where are you now in terms of pain? I was like, pretty good. Like, basically fine, like a 4 or 5. And she was like, what? She was like, 0 is baseline.
Yeah.
I was like,
You're like,
what?
Yeah.
She was like, you shouldn't have any pain. I was like, what do you mean? I cannot imagine a world in which my back, knees, ankles, like things just hurt. Like I'm not
Yeah.
even talking like soreness from the gym
Yeah.
or like soreness from class. I mean, just like hurt.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. You're not supposed to, your body is supposed to optimize itself
What's
to not.
that
I
like?
was like, I can't even imagine.
No, I'm with you. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time my body hasn't felt some form of back pain or
Yes.
like, especially I'm like my big boobs. It's
Oh,
like
God,
they're
me
weighing me
too.
down. It's
Jesus.
that alone is like the back pain from that. But then on top of that, yeah, being someone who's danced, I didn't take dance classes regularly till my adulthood, but I was in musical theater and
Yeah.
like so much dancing in there. I played sports as a kid, so it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of just. What do you mean?
You just, yeah.
What do you
What
mean
do
zero's
you
the
mean?
baseline?
And the art,
doesn't make
and like
sense.
Charlene is so funny too because she's like, dancers are the worst. She was like, you guys think that for things to be good, they have to hurt because that's what we're used to. Like I used to be a point ballet dancer. Do you know what I mean? I
Beauty is
danced on
pain,
point,
yeah.
and like you just, it's just, you know what I mean? It's
Oh my God,
the experience of it.
Center Stage was one of my favorite movies as a
Oh.
kid too, and so gnarly to see the feet.
Gnarly.
It's crazy.
I used to soak my feet in alcohol to toughen them and then hot salt water so
Oh
that
my
I could dig
God.
out the things. I mean, my feet were so fucked. They're so pretty now, though. They're like objectively beautiful. I have like objectively beautiful feet. I'm so glad I stopped dancing on point when I moved to New York. I was like, I'm done.
Oh my
It
God.
was actually before I moved, like my senior year of high school. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just, I'm never going to be a ballerina because of the way my body's shaped.
Mhm.
And so like, it's not,
Which is so fucked.
I know, but like, I knew then like I would have a life in dance. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I just knew that
totally.
I didn't have that. My boobs were too big. I
Yeah.
was a D cup. Like, what was I
Right.
going to do? Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to
God,
put me in a
that's-
leotard.
that's-
It's too distracting, Theresa.
I just really wanted to say gazungas. Like I had the urge to say gazungas there. Like, damn, take a look at those gazungas running around. Can't have
even
her
lift
in a-
her. She's
Yeah.
so aerodynamic.
I'm like, so much of me is like, fuck, I wish I was in a ballet class as a kid so that I had that foundation of like posture and like everything, just all the conditioning. But then at the same time, the nightmare of the body image stuff from it. And then being like, well, I can never do this because of the way I'm
that,
shaped.
yeah. I
Yeah.
feel so lucky because I grew up in a little town, not a little town, a small city
Mhm.
of 50,000 people in North Dakota.
Mhm.
It's a little farm town, but it had a thriving arts community.
Amazing.
And I think that's the reason I was able to like vault to New York because I
Yeah.
was such a big fish.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like if I did grow up with amazing performers, like, and I got the best dance education. And my 2 dance teachers, Mary Ellen Weir, who's passed away, and Nancy Marcotte, who remains like my goddess from the North Dakota Ballet Company, they were like, I never once heard them ever, and this is, sorry to reveal my age, in the 80s, never once heard them ever say anything about body shape, body type.
Oh, good.
Not a word.
Thank God.
Not a word.
Yeah.
And I was with them for 15 years. I mean,
Okay.
like they were the best. And it wasn't until then when I moved to New York, of course, that like
Yeah.
that became
Totally.
a consideration. So
And-
I was sort of lucky in that sense, though, that like that all of my disordered eating and body image stuff and all that stuff came from
Just from the regular
just
world.
regular world stuff.
Just from the
Like
regular
just
world and how
from
they treat
like
women.
patriarchy
Yeah.
and past matrilineal sort of
Yeah.
attitudes.
That's a
And
wild
yeah,
one. You're like,
my mom and
wait.
I are on Slim Fast.
Oh, my mom was a Slim Fast girly too.
Yeah, did it with my
Slim
mom.
Fast diets.
Weight Watchers. Never
Yeah.
saw my
Oh,
mom not on a
did
diet.
did Weight Watchers too. Yeah. My mom's was the, oh, I don't need dinner. I'm just gonna have a yogurt. And it was like, okay. So you obviously it's like as a kid you're gonna internalize that stuff. Like, okay, I shouldn't eat food, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny because my daughter knows that I have disordered eating and I work on it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's a process as you well know.
Yeah.
And because I know you have experience with like 12 stepping.
Yeah.
And but she said to me recently, she was like, it's funny because I know that that's something that you deal with, but I've never felt it. Like I've never absorbed it. She's
Thank
like,
God.
she's old enough now to recognize that like I actively shield her
Yes.
without lying to her. Like she knows that it's something that I struggle with, but she doesn't all she knows is like my house is full of nutritious food. My mother teaches me healthy habits. I've never like talked about body in front of her. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
Thank
just
God you're breaking the cycle.
I'm trying, dude. It's
Yeah,
hard
it's
though.
hard. It's so hard. We got to give ourselves little pats on the back whenever we succeed, even in small ways, because we really are up against just generations and generations and
Yes.
generations of this stuff. It's gnarly.
And it was crazy because my son, during the pandemic, went from like this little string bean, and then during the pandemic, he filled out in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And we never mentioned it. We never, do you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
just continued to like offer healthy habits and like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And it was never a thing. We weren't worried about it. It wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he, out of the blue, started to get really concerned about it as he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, where did you even hear that this was something
Yeah.
that you needed to think about? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you certainly didn't hear it from us.
Everywhere
Like,
else.
yeah, but like it broke my heart.
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? I was like, I'm sorry that like that you're placing value on something that has no value at
Yeah,
all.
it's tough because obviously you can be the best parent in the world and do everything you can to try to make sure your kid doesn't have that kind of like doesn't absorb that from you, but then it's like at the end of the day it's like they have their friends and their friends' parents are maybe different or their people at school or their teachers literally
Yeah.
could be anyone from
Or
anywhere.
just the media that consumes
And the
probably the
media. Oh
biggest
my
like
God, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's just like once they're exposed to just other parts of the world, it's just like
It's really hard.
it's really
Yeah.
hard. Okay, I'm gonna ask you another
Okay.
question. Can you think of anything that like you grew up in maybe in your town or your household thinking was really common and normal, but then when you left home you found out it was weird?
Um so yeah, I think like my parents were Peace Corps volunteers.
Oh
That's where they met.
wow.
They
Oh my
met in
God, that's
the I
beautiful.
know.
Oh, that makes so much sense for you.
And I think that is part of it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So my dad is an entrepreneur and businessman. My mom's a professor. And I just sort of thought that they were how parents are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
The
mean? Like,
standard.
yeah, exactly. Like that. Not that I knew that people came from difficult situations,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't realize how lucky I was to have these two solid individuals with really strong moral cores who
Mm-hmm.
like raised me to be a certain way
Mm-hmm.
and also like modeled great behavior with each other, relationship behavior, um, modeled how to be sort of in the community in a way that I think is really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I just sort of thought that I knew my parents were exceptional in our town a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they were, volunteering a lot and stuff, but I didn't realize how really lucky I was that they were supportive. It wasn't until a friend of mine who grew up performing in the same town where, the arts are so valued. And that was another thing. Like,
Yeah.
and he wanted to go to school for acting and he was so good. And his dad just wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
And so he went and got a different degree and then eventually moved to LA and really gave it a shot. But of course, he didn't have the sort of foundational thing that
Yeah.
people like us have with our BFAs.
Yeah.
And, it, it's really hard. I feel so fucking lucky that my parents
Yeah.
are. I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, like, but I'm just lucky that my
Yeah.
parents recognized from an early age that I wasn't going to go into the family business.
Mhm.
And my mother even said on her radio show, like, I knew she wasn't going to be Madame Curie. I just was born to do
You were
this.
born an
Yeah.
artist. I mean, it's so beautiful. I'm so happy that you had parents like that, and it really it like shouldn't be that rare. I do think there's like a thing. I think a lot of the expectations around like what is normal leads a lot of people. Obviously, there's a million reasons why people have kids when they either shouldn't or don't want to or
Hmm.
like don't think it through enough.
Hmm.
Is like so that not everyone can come from that same kind of solid foundation. I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, well, we just had kids because that's just what you're supposed to do. And then they're not like actually interested in being a parent. And so
Right.
there's that. There's obviously also contraception and like lack of
Yep.
education
Yep.
around that and everything
Hmm.
like that. There's so many reasons, but God bless, I'm so happy that your parents were so supportive.
I'm lucky.
Because I'm also really lucky in that, like, well, I'm not lucky in some circumstances of my parents and how I was born and what I was born into and growing up with a single mom for the most part,
Hmm.
and how spread thin she was, and therefore neglect was just kind of part of it because she had to keep a roof over our heads. But she was all at the on the same token always so encouraging of me going after my dreams and just kind of being like, you can do anything.
Mm.
So, and even though she did that, it was still hard to, I haven't really started to internalize that in a real way until the
Yeah.
last couple of years and believing in myself more. But it is really just like the power of just encouraging your kids to be who they are
Hmm.
and follow what lights them up.
Totally.
If we all had that, the world would be a way better
Oh,
place.
absolutely. And it's funny too, because like, I grew up at a time where all of us kids didn't have parents at home. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
older than you, and
Mm-hmm.
we just came home to, it sounds like you
Latchkey
did, like
kids.
latchkey
Yeah.
kids, like an
Totally.
empty house. And I think that that also contributed to why we're artists, because like
Totally.
our imaginations were, you know,
Yeah.
working overdrive because I had no one to, I'm an only child. I would like come
Oh
home and
my
like
goodness.
put on Madonna and
Yeah.
dance my ass off and
Yes.
make up stories and act things out and be a fucking freak.
Yeah. No, same. That's the thing. Oh my God. The way I was obsessed with trying to teach myself dances of my favorite pop stars and their music videos. I'm like, TV and movies raised me, is what I
Yeah.
always say. I'm like, luckily we did have cable, so I was able to access lots of different types of
Yeah.
film and TV. And I was exposed to a lot from a young age, which I think really informed me as an artist as well. And
Same.
my taste, which is like, there's like obviously lots of downsides of the latchkey kid lifestyle, but then there's also the like, well, here's
Yeah,
my creative foundation too.
totally. I mean, the fact that we could all watch HBO
I know.
when nobody was
That
home,
is
like, do they know what we were
literally.
watching?
Oh my God.
Like, I literally learned how to have sex because
Yes.
of all those things.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
it's
I was watching
so,
American Pie,
oh my
and like, cause
God.
like I'm a 90s kid. Like I was watching American Pie when I was like 9. I was watching. I remember on HBO this movie. It was just called Girl, and it's such a and it's what? Oh my God, what's his name? He's a guy from Boondock Saints.
Oh, uh, uh, the actor,
Yes,
Norman Reedus.
yes, him.
Yeah.
Nor him, and then or no, the other one, the other one.
Oh, it's the
Whatever. I'll figure it
that
out.
guy.
The other
Yeah, yeah.
guy, you'll look it up. The other guy in that movie, it was him playing just like the lead singer of a band, and it was about Dominique Swanson, I think
Sean
is her name.
Flattery.
Yeah, something like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that. It's an Irish
Yes.
last name. But it was just basically about this high school senior who's a girl. And it was also like the first time I remember seeing a movie that was centered around a young woman and like her
Mm.
experience, but it was essentially her experience becoming a groupie of this guy in this band and just being so obsessed with him and like losing her virginity. All this stuff that I was definitely like at the time way too young to. But
Yes.
also I don't know, it taught me a lot. And also seeing stuff, I feel like there was a time with like indie sleaze type movies and stuff where it's like all different types of people. It's not just, the default of like straight white guy
Yeah, yeah,
centered
yeah. For
stories.
sure.
So I don't know. Yeah. God
I
bless
always think
HBO
about
in the 90s.
I always think about when Singles came out. I was like, in junior high, I think, but it was I because I'm like the I'm like right on the cusp of the two generations.
Mm-hmm.
But like we were like, this is us. Do you know what I mean? This is our
Yeah.
generation. Like this is who we're gonna be in 10 years. Like this is so my life. Like I am so that girl.
Yeah.
And the standards that Bridget Fonda's character set for us, where like the only thing that she needs in that movie to know that Matt Dillon, who is such a piece of shit and like cheating on her the entire thing, all he does is say bless you to her when she sneezes. And she's like, "Oh my god. You are the one." Like literally she's like, "All I want is someone to say bless you to me when I sneeze."
Oh
That's
my
and so what
God.
does that do for me? Like my whole life I'm like, what a guy.
What a guy. He said bless you. That
He
means
didn't
he
even
loves
rape me.
Literally, that's the standard. Aw, he didn't
Aw.
sexually assault
Oh
me.
my
What a good
god, I'm so what a
guy.
guy.
That's what I used to have
Ah.
a joke about, like how it's so easy to be a dad. To me it's so easy to impress me as a good dad because I'm like, oh, you didn't like touch your kid in a weird way. What a good guy. That's the standard. Oh, you tossed the ball around a little outside.
Oh,
Oh,
buddy.
wow.
Wow.
The
They're so
bar is in
lucky.
hell.
Yes. The bar disintegrated because
Yeah.
it caught on fire because it was in hell and it doesn't exist anymore. There is no bar.
That is so true. I really envy my friends who are trying to date straight men in this current climate at this juncture because it's a rough road out there.
You envy them?
No, I do, so I meant to say I don't.
Oh, I
I
was gonna
don't
say.
envy them. I really no. Wow, that was a okay. What's going on up here? No, I certainly don't envy them. I
Yeah.
don't envy them. Because yikes.
Do you not think that maybe the guys are trying harder because they know that straight women are onto them?
Well, I think there are those guys. I think a lot of it really is just like, I don't know, because culturally we live in this patriarchal system. And I don't know, it's like we're in a weird time of like men's rights activists. And I do think that's like more a minority. I think like there's a lot of emphasis on it because of who's in charge right now. And I don't think it's as big of a population as they want it to seem
Yes, they're
like
just loud.
it is.
Yeah.
They're just very loud. But I also think that there's just kind of a baseline where women are so tired of because their baseline of care is so far beyond typical straight man's baseline of care and expressing care. And it's just kind of like, I don't want to have a son. I don't want to raise a son
Yeah.
in my partner is kind of the energy I feel like
Right.
a lot of people are dealing with
Right.
right now. There's just such a, I don't know. And also just like dating apps, it's just like, if you
Oof.
have to, if like Aaron and I were talking about, it's like if you have to come up against discomfort, it's so easy to be like, I don't want to. And
Yeah.
then just try to keep
Yeah, I
swiping.
thought your insight there was so interesting in that
Yeah.
episode. Like the fact that you can just open up the app and
Yeah.
find somebody else.
Yeah, literally. And I'm having to confront that in myself in real time too. Even like I was in therapy yesterday talking about like I'm like this person but I feel terrified, and she's like, "Is it maybe cuz you care?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, I care." Okay.
Why do I have to care so much?
I care. Oh. It's also been challenging because she travels a lot for work, so it's like just a lot of like we don't get to see each other super often. So then I will get in my head and get insecure, and instead of just being like, "Hey, I'm feeling insecure. How are you? Can we like maybe talk?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Should I just go on the app and find somebody else?" And then I'm like, "Girls, you don't do the thing that you're
Yeah.
noticing is a problem." Because how will you build intimacy
Right.
otherwise?
If you just check out.
Yeah.
Because that's just,
It's so easy. There's so many things competing for our attention.
Yes.
And encouraging us to dissociate.
Oh my God. It's unreal.
I've also had to recently take a big step back from doom scroll central because it's so easy to get my mental health. I had called out sick most of most of a week of work a few weeks ago because I was just in such a bad way because of just how hopeless everything was feeling. And then had a conversation with my therapist about it, and I was like, and I talked to my best friend, and she was like, I really encourage you to like, because I've been more online since I've been doing the podcast, trying to like put out clips and stuff. And so then it can very easily kowtow into me just like, okay, now I'm doom scrolling on Threads or Instagram and seeing just all the bad stuff and none of the hopeful stuff. So I had to really be like, okay, we're not going to doom scroll. And it's definitely been helping. It's like plug in where you can.
Am like, I'm so in favor of that. I've started leaving my phone in the kitchen at night.
Yeah, that's smart. I need to get like a
Because
real analog alarm clock.
yes, I don't need an alarm clock. I have like a natural thing. I've always just woken up when I need to. I have like a
Yeah.
guardian angel. It's a long story, but anyway, I
Wow.
know it's weird. My like, it's like my since I was a kid, I've had like this
Wow.
like her name's Aurora. Anyway.
Oh!
But but it's real I leave it in the kitchen, and when I do, it is I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and I was just having a lot of anxiety. Immediately habitually reached for my phone. I was like, "Oh, it's downstairs." So I reached for my book and I read that instead, and I went
Yeah.
back to sleep, and I would have just sat up and just cycled through Instagram, which feeds my shadow,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then Threads, which feeds my fear.
Yep.
And then Facebook, which feeds my ego, because I have
Mm-hmm.
this big moms group that I run there that
Yeah.
like I'm able to like be of service to
Yeah.
800 women. So that like,
Mm-hmm.
feeds that part of my needfulness.
Yeah.
And like, and then back to Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and then
It's
back
such
to
a loop.
Threads and then like check TikTok and then that feeds my capitalism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's all ads
Yeah.
and I'm getting tricked into being influenced. And it's
Yeah.
like every dark part of me is fed by
Mm-hmm.
those four fucking apps.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
what
Yep.
am I doing? I mean, thank God for Facebook because my mom's group is miraculous and I love it.
Yeah.
And like, thank God for Instagram because it gives me the opportunity to promote something that I care about, which is this
Yes.
writers conference that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And thank God for Threads that there are smart people on there where we can like share information.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God for TikTok for making dance fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For giving
Yeah.
people the opportunity to dance.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ,
Yeah. Exactly.
those places are fucking awful
It's
and they make me insane. And I
yeah.
just cycle through them.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught in the loop. I literally last night alone in my apartment was like, "You're in the loop, you're in the loop." I had
Look,
to say it out loud to myself to like break it because I noticed it's also the thing where okay, I had my Instagram fill, I put it out, but then the second I grab my phone again, I open it just out of
yes,
reflex, even though I didn't
yes.
want to. It's just so automatic that I'm like, "Oh my God."
It's wild.
Because it's so simultaneously, like you're saying, it's this incredible resource in so many ways for information sharing and promotion and like community building when you're maybe needing that kind of way of getting in touch with each other or helping each other
Mm-hmm.
in a very quick way. But
Mm-hmm.
then it's also this like dark
Dark.
rabbit hole
Oh my
of
God.
suck.
So have you heard of the brick?
I haven't. I think you mentioned it in
Yes.
the group chat. Is it both you and Eden have it? Yes.
Yes.
And I've been thinking about it. I'm like,
I really recommend it.
yeah,
It's easy. It's an easy step toward the next step, which is eliminating it altogether, which I don't think we can do because we have things that we have to get to people.
exactly. Yeah.
But the brick is amazing. It's a little tile, like this is for your listeners, who like a Apple Pay, like a little
Yes.
tile, and the tile itself, I think, is like $79 or something. So that is a little bit pricey,
Yeah.
but worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You just click your phone to it, like you're paying at the
Mm-hmm.
coffee shop, and you pick the apps that you want to be locked out of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't access those apps again until you're back at the brick and unclick it.
Yeah.
So that means if you click it before you go to work,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't access the whole time you're at work. And you will be so shocked at how often you pick up your phone and just open Instagram, and then this screen comes up that says, "You can't access this. Go back to real life." It literally says, "Go enjoy your life."
Wow. Yeah, I need that.
It is amazing. And I will say, the longer you're bricked out, the more it feels like a little bit of a game for yourself. Like it feels like, let me see if I can just go another 3
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's overnight. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't really need to check it like this morning. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if somebody needs me, if somebody really needs me, they'll text me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've gone like 36 hours. I'm trying to extend it more.
Yeah.
And it's become a huge blessing.
You've sold me. I need to just do it because I also like the week that I just made a concerted, but I know I'm not strong enough to do that all the time
Hmm.
because of how ingrained it is for everything. But the week that I was especially intentional to like anytime I wanted to do it, I was like, Theresa, don't. And I would grab something else
Hmm.
instead.
Hmm.
I did my morning pages instead.
Yep.
I just like decided to be dialed in at my day job in a way that I should be. And like it was, oh, I actually got all these things that were on my to-do
Yeah.
list forever done because I've just been avoiding them because it's easy to avoid them when they're not urgent and you have something else in your pocket that you can be scrolling.
Yeah.
So it's, but I know that I have a strong will, but I will falter with this in particular.
I
So
mean, look, I have a strong will when it comes to like having disordered eating or
yeah,
like dealing with other people.
yeah.
But when it comes to like my own addictions,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason I am powerless is step one, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like I am
I'm
powerless to these
powerless.
apps. Like I
Yeah,
can't, it doesn't matter if I say to myself, like, I'm not going to look at, I mean, because you
yeah,
use your phone for a million other things. If I pick it
exactly.
up to put an address in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just double checking what's happening on
Yeah, I'm
Instagram
like,
real fast. Yeah,
just
exactly.
take a real quick.
Yeah.
Just it'll take 2 seconds, and I'm now. That's the darkest part too is getting on there and being like, I'm on here for a reason. Then somehow I end up on like Ryan Cabrera's wife's Instagram, and I'm like, that guy hasn't been famous since the early 2000s. How did I get here? Like
What am I doing with
What
my
led me
life?
here?
Oh
Like
my
what
God, that
the
is
fuck?
so
I feel
funny.
like I blacked out and then I go
No, you
back a
like
million
come to,
times.
yes,
Yeah, I
exactly.
come to and I'm like, oh, this is because somebody I follow posted something in their stories that somehow in like
Yes.
5 steps got me
Yes,
here.
yes, yes. It is wild the people that I look up because of something that I saw on Instagram and what itch am I scratching?
Yeah.
Like what is that? Like
Yeah.
why is my psyche saying like, yeah, it is actually important to see who the first wife of the
Right.
guy who played the second lead on a show that was on NBC for one season. So here's a funny thing. I used to because I until very recently had short black hair
Mm-hmm.
and light eyes. Whenever I would go to commercial auditions, this when I first moved out to LA, I saw the same 7 girls
Yeah.
who all had short black hair and light eyes. And there was
Mm-hmm.
one gal who looked like me but was a model, so like
Mm-hmm.
taller and model esque. And she booked a lot. But we became friendly because we would see each other at auditions. And then she was married to someone who was a television star,
Mm-hmm.
who was on a show with one of my dear friends. And I was also on that show. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I don't want people to start putting things together.
Yes.
This is not in any way tangential to the Duplass Brothers. I just want to say that first and foremost. So, they like retired. I don't know why I'm being like cagey about it because they're very straight forward facing about this.
Yeah.
They retired to like an
Oh
island
my God.
to a like swingers island
Oh,
where they live
fun.
full time and they have a
Wow.
podcast
Whoa.
where they talk about their exploits
Wow.
and all they do is bang strangers all day.
Okay, hell yeah.
And like just like talk about it.
Yeah.
And now they're like in their 50s
Amazing.
and like hot as
The
ever.
dream.
Yeah.
Wow. What
And
the
like
fuck?
I mean, what a life. Like this guy was a working
Yeah.
actor and just cashed it in. And I think their like living expenses are paid at the resort
Oh my God.
because people can be like, I want to fuck his wife. She's the hottest person I've ever seen. Like, I would go there to have sex with her. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it is amazing.
That's
It's
so
so
fucking, that's
funny
incredible.
to me.
God, I really miss the window of when you could just like get a role on network TV and be like set for
Set for
life.
life. Yeah.
What a
Do
time.
4 seasons, 4 or
Yeah.
5 seasons. It'd be really smart with your money.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you can kind of, and then on top of that, be a swinger who's insanely hot. So I think those last 2
Yeah.
parts are
For
like
sure,
the
for
important
sure.
are important to
Yeah,
remember too.
absolutely. But hey, we find our community in the swingers
Listen,
world, I
we
guess.
can
Hey,
build
who knows?
any kind of world we want to live in.
Exactly. God, that's amazing. Is there a time you can think of where you were like in a gathering, a party, a group setting of some kind, and you had a story you were excited to tell and thought it would be funny and people would react well to it, but then everyone was kind of like, wait, that's sad. Are you okay?
I was thinking about this because I knew you were going to ask this. And I'm trying to remember. Oh God. Um, One time I was at a film festival in a mountain town. Again, I'm just I'm just being cagey for everyone's safety.
Yeah.
And because of the altitude, alcohol hits different.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were up at the tippity top of a mountain with one of the heads of the festival, who now is a dear friend
Mhm.
and collaborator, and my best friend, and also like someone who would in the last couple years win like 7 Oscars.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we were
Hey.
like hanging. It was like a really fun day, and I had like a Bloody Mary,
Mhm.
and I may as well had 10. Like I was hammered. I
Sloshed.
was sloshed, and ended up telling like a bad high school boy story without
Mhm.
me getting too graphic.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Mhm.
I remember like looking at my best friend, Mary Elizabeth, and she was just like shaking her head like, don't. Okay, just don't, just don't, just don't, just don't. And everybody else just kind of like looking off into the middle distance, like letting me sort of like finish the story. And then coming down off the mountain and like immediately sobering up. Do you know what I mean? Because like I'd only had one drink. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was just the altitude making me feel
That's
crazy. And
oh my god.
immediately having like this realization of all of the things that I had just said out loud and the remembering who I had said them to
Yeah.
and being like, what if I've done a terrible thing? Now this is like thank God all of them stayed friends with me. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like,
They're looking around like,
oh
"Oh, what
God.
do we
Yeah. So
say to this?"
moral of the story is don't drink at film festivals on a mountain.
On a mountain,
Yeah.
bad altitude things.
Yes.
I have was it like Aspen?
It was Aspen.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm like, that's the only thing I could think of a mountain town that you'd be.
Oh, Park City's gnarly too,
Oh,
though.
okay, I
Yeah.
haven't been to Park City.
Well, Park City's not that altitudey, but Aspen, everybody's barfing.
Yeah. Seeing people partying in Aspen, I would pay. I would pay to see
Oh
it.
my God. It was.
My only exposure to Aspen is during the pandemic. I was walking, I was, hobbling together a bunch of jobs to get by because I had been laid off like the week before lockdown. And I was walking a dog for some crazy rich family. And his name was Bowie.
Uh-oh.
And then when I went on my like introductory walk to see if I was a match for the dog, they were like, sorry if he seems a little off. He just got back from his month in Aspen, so he's a little bit depressed. I was like, we are
Lord in
different.
heaven, this is
we,
not.
we have different lives.
I don't understand.
It's like, why does Bowie have a better life than me?
Can I be your dog?
Yeah, right. I was like, I'll move in. This house is big enough.
I'll eat off the floor.
I
It's
literally,
totally
yeah,
fine. I know how to pee outside.
I'll stay in the mudroom. It's fine. We got it. Okay. Can you think of something in your life that maybe felt really traumatic, like while it was happening, but now you're in a place where you can kind of look back and laugh about it? And how did you get to a place where you could laugh about it?
Yeah, so I started this mom's group almost 16 years ago.
Wow.
And as it grew, it got a little more unwieldy.
Mm-hmm.
We had about 7,000 members.
Wow.
And for the most part, it remained like a really lovely and supportive place. But then it started to get really, really nasty in a
Oh,
way that
no.
like I couldn't quite rein in.
Yeah.
And I was not the the person that I had co-founded the space with. Our values were not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and I left the group.
Mm-hmm.
Or I left my position as the admin.
Mm-hmm.
And I I'm still a member of the group just because people will still message me and say I need help.
Mm-hmm.
But I have nothing to do with the group anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was so traumatic because it was such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And that's where I started, doing the Mama's Fund, where
Yeah.
every December we would gather money. And then I was like giving these moms who were like trying to leave abusive marriages or,
Mm-hmm.
were really in poverty stricken situations,
Yeah.
people who weren't going to have Christmas for their kids,
Mm-hmm.
um, people who had, cancer or kids with cancer. I mean, really like dark stuff.
Yeah.
And anonymously, they would come to me and say,
Mm-hmm.
I need help. And I would raise this money and I would hand it out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hard for me to imagine a world in which I wasn't a part of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then these two gals from the group came to me and they were like, we need out of here because it's terrible and it's become a hellscape.
Oh God.
Will you form a group with us?
Oh.
And well, actually, three women founded it with me. And we were hyper intentional in our founding of the new group, which is called Neela
Mm-hmm.
Mamas, with a mission statement and
Mm-hmm.
a set of guidelines for people that they had to agree to be a part of the group, and
Yeah.
creating an ethos of inclusivity, of diversity,
Mm-hmm.
being anti-racist off the bat, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, calling people into conversations when they fuck up instead
Yeah.
of calling them out and shunning,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So like it was
Ugh.
sort of this like really intentional response to what was happening in the other group, which was like a lot of extreme calling out when
Mm-hmm.
people were making mistakes. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was 2020.
Yeah.
And so that group at the when I was leaving, it was during the pandemic. It was a really rough time,
Yeah.
but that experience of leaving the group made my hair fall out. That's how
Oh my
stressful it was. Like, and my
gosh.
hair fell out. Like, it
Oh.
was so awful. I mean, like choking sobs. Like,
Oh.
I remember my friend Mary Whitehill, showing up at who runs Mary's List. She's the most amazing, knocking on my door. And she was holding a Mexican Coke.
Oh.
And she was like, you want to go sit in the backyard and just have a Coke? And I was like, oh, I would.
Oh.
And now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Because
Yeah.
now I've got this beautiful group. I still get to
Mm-hmm.
do the holiday fund every year.
Yeah.
And it's so, uh, it's such an incredible group of people.
Yeah.
My partners are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It is extremely diverse,
Yeah.
extremely inclusive. Um, when people fuck up, is people fuck up in a
Yeah.
group of 800 people. People are
People
going to
fuck
fuck up.
up.
We have conversations that lead to better outcomes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so everything is an opportunity for learning and growth.
And
And
that I think is the mindset that, I mean, I say this about you all the time and I mean it with my heart. You are somebody I value so much being in community with you, and I speak of you as someone who I'm like, she is doing the work of like building the world that I want to live in, of like
oh,
of
Theresa.
it of I'm so serious. Like, it's amazing, and I got to see up close some of the amazing work you did when you immediately sprung to action during the fires and set up the hub for people to be able to come get things that they needed when they lost their homes and lost all their belongings. And it's truly amazing to see you in action in that way, and you do such good in this world. And I just want to also like highlight, yes, calling people in. People are going to fuck up. People are coming from all different life experiences and backgrounds and levels of ignorance. I believe in my heart that most people are trying to be good people
Yeah.
and want to do good in the world, and they maybe fuck up along the way because of, where they were raised or what they come from or just things they haven't been exposed to yet.
Yeah.
And to be able to call people in and have an attitude of, okay, how do we talk about this and try to figure out how to
Repair.
repair is so important, and it's so necessary in community spaces. Like, it's impossible to have everyone in a community as who's perfect 100% of the time.
Yeah.
People are imperfect. People are human.
Mm-hmm.
They fuck up, and they usually, I will say, have good intentions. Sometimes the ego can get in the way and muddy that for people, and that can be challenging to
Yeah.
come up against. But I feel like most people want to do better.
Yeah. And I think when leadership is modeling,
Yes.
not just like inclusivity, because that's sort of a broad word, but also joy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like making things fun and not terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And giving people like space to be themselves and
Mm-hmm.
weird and
Yeah.
funny. And, I think that that's a huge part of it too. Like, I've just learned so much about leadership over the last like 15 years. I thought I knew what leadership was,
Yeah.
and I was leading from scarcity and anxiety and like anxious attachment,
Yeah.
being my leadership style, like, which is not cool. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it took, when I was serving on the advisory, or not advisory, when I was serving on the board of directors for Independent Shakespeare, our board president, Eduardo Braniff, who's like a genius and amazing,
Mm-hmm.
literally took me aside and he was like, don't explain, don't complain. I was like, what? He was like, every email you send sounds like a 5 alarm fire.
Oh
He
no.
was like, and it's just like, he was like, that's not, you don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, state your desire, state your need
Mm-hmm.
clearly, and open the door for people to rise up to the opportunity to help,
Yeah.
and then leave it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, I don't have to be like, you guys, right now, we only have 3 volunteers for the thing. And we don't sell it. You know what I mean? And instead be
Mhm.
like, we're still looking for 5 more volunteers.
Yeah. Anybody?
Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, I think calling people in is huge. It's
Yeah.
just, it's changed everything for me.
Yeah.
And I really owe my co-founders at Ela Mamas. They are the best partners I've ever had in terms
Mhm.
of any kind of venture like this. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
And also power to like a group of women getting together and making things shit happen because there's nothing like it,
Oh
truly.
my God.
Oh my
When we
God.
started the hub, which I did with our sister site, which is called Neela Purge, which is a buy-sell trade group. I call it a sister site, but it's just because we have a lot of crossover members. Like, there were 3 of us at the start. And in 2 days, we had 75 racks of clothing,
Ugh.
50 bins of shoes, an entire store of toys,
Mm-hmm.
an entire back room full of toiletries
Yeah.
and diapers and every kind of need, and thousands of people who were evacuated from Altadena coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And we got like all this luggage from base. I don't even know how they found us, BEIS.
Mm-hmm.
They brought over like 150 suitcases or something more, something insane, like an
Yeah.
insane amount of suitcases. And then when we moved to the regular location, Beats got in touch with us and gave us
So
$1
sick.
million worth of Beats to give
I
away.
remember that and I was like, holy shit.
Like,
Amazing.
it was crazy. And it ended up being 9 women and dozens of volunteers,
Yeah.
but like 9 women as the sort of managers of it, like just on a text chain. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it was.
Yeah.
We did it for almost 6 months.
Yeah, it was incredible. And you had a whole new, like you had the one space and then you moved to a more permanent space for the
Yeah.
rest of the time. It was true. I mean, so impressive and needed and amazing, incredible work that you've done. I'm just like,
Thank
it
you.
blows
It's
me
just,
away.
it is funny because we said to each other a lot, like, it's amazing what women do.
No,
Like,
truly.
if you like, just give us a shot.
Yeah, right.
Give us 10 years to just take over.
We would
clean
fix
up.
everything.
We would literally fix everything
So fast. I mean, I've seen it in action in my growing up, in my community, and any of the people I've been involved with artistically in my adulthood. I'm just like, yeah, we get shit done.
I mean,
We get shit done.
the difference between I would say, matriarchal being not just
Yes.
women, but
Just-
leading in a matriarchal way, which is like a
Yes.
circle instead of a
Yes.
pyramid.
Non-hierarchical.
Not hierarchical, not patriarchal. It's a gag on it. Is so different. Like,
Yeah.
a matriarchal set is like so. When we went to the desert, one of our dance teachers is Danny Dolan, who's amazing, and
Shout out, Danny.
shout out Danny. Wednesday nights at the Pickle Factory if you're in Los Angeles,
Yes.
and I produced Danny's short,
Mhm.
and
I can't wait to see it.
it's so good. He did such a good job.
Ugh.
Danny wrote, directed, and starred in it, and I produced it with his partner Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, the set was very queer and female. There were a handful of straight guys, but everybody was buying into the
Yeah.
vibe of the set.
Yeah.
It was, excuse me, one of the best sets I've ever been on. And I say
Oh,
that as the producer who was,
yeah.
helping to run the thing. But I was just like, man, look what happens when we are given a shot to do it
Yeah.
ourselves. Like,
And when everyone's showing up from a place of passion and like when you're not instilling fear into
yeah,
people, they will show up more wholly and willingly and excitedly
yes,
because it's like, oh, if you instill a sense of like, we're going to get this done and we're all doing it together. We're working together and we're doing whatever we need to do. It's just
yeah,
like so much
it's
easier.
so much easier.
And first of all, just want to say I love the poster so much. I'm obsessed with
I
it and I can't wait to see it. I talked to Kate, one of our friends from our dance community, because she had donated, so
know.
she had been at the
Mm-hmm.
screening for like friends and donors and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could have gone. And she was like, as soon as it ended, I was like, I want to watch that again right now. It's like that's the one of the highest points of praise you could have, I feel like, is saying
Mm-hmm.
I would watch that. Like I would watch it on loop. I would watch it again immediately as soon as it's
Yeah.
over. I can't wait to see
It's
it.
so good. I mean, like I've seen it a billion times because I
Yeah.
saw every cut, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like it was,
You were there
I
on
was there. Yeah,
set. Yeah.
exactly. And I never get sick of it. It's like so fun. It's so good. So we're like submitting to festivals now
Mhm.
and getting ready, and it's been a wonderful
Oh,
experience.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
hope that I work with Danny and Gabe on everything for the
Yes,
rest of
and
my life.
all more praise to Danny. I haven't really met Gabe at this juncture, but Danny was in the ensemble with me and Erwin for this Sex Which Is Not One, which we talked about on Erwin's episode. And working with him intimately in that space was such a beautiful. I mean, that whole thing, working with everyone involved, was such a beautiful experience. I really cherished getting to know everyone on like a more intimate level,
Yeah.
and it was so. And Danny being the only cis man in the group, or um just man in the group. I
Hmm.
don't want to assume that how he fully identifies, but it was, there it was so beautiful the way he showed up and like considered that role he was playing in
Yeah,
that space too. So, just more praise for Danny Dolan. He's an
he's the
amazing
best.
artist. He's the best,
I
and I
think
love
like
him.
it's interesting too to consider like peer mentorship. Do
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, because Danny and I have sort of grown together. I mean, I call him my dance husband, and we have a really beautiful friendship, but also like there it's gotten to the point where there isn't much that one of us does where we
Mhm.
don't consult the other.
Yeah.
And I think that that is like one of the biggest benefits of having a community.
Yeah.
Danny and I know each other through dance, but we got closer doing a film together.
Mhm.
And now it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether it's sharing reels or like, what do you think about this? Or is this
Mhm.
email okay? Like, how's the wording on this? Like,
Mhm.
I just, and it's so lovely to have peer mentors
Yeah.
because I have a mentor. I love her. She's the fucking best. Her name's
Mhm.
Maggie Kiley. She's incredible. But I don't want to bug her every day. She's a busy
Yeah.
lady. She's
Yeah.
directing The Hunting Wives. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, yeah, she's
amazing.
amazing. But like you know what I mean? Where like
Mhm.
Danny, I'm fine to. So anybody who's listening, who's like, I don't know how to like get my gears going, like think
Mhm.
about your friends whose work you admire
Yeah,
and be like,
totally.
hey, I'm going to start checking in with you because I need accountability
Mhm.
and I need someone to bounce some ideas off of, and growing those relationships and considering it peer mentorship, I think is the mindset that it's the framing
Yeah.
that you need. So it's not just like, I don't know, there's something about it being an equal parts
Yeah.
mentorship.
Yeah, totally. And knowing each other's taste and like
Mhm.
sensibilities. I feel like me and Tolliver have that with each other too. Like I be
Mhm.
checking in with him all the time on and like my clips. He'll give me notes and be like, "Oh, I think you should maybe cut this part. It'll be punchier." I'm like, "Yes, that's what I was missing. Thank you."
Yeah.
I'm like too in it because it's
Yeah.
just like I'm in it in all of
In
the
literally
ways.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful and helpful having relationships like that. Okay, I have to ask you another question. I'm like,
Okay.
we could
We
just
just keep
talk all
talking.
day. Okay, is there a
Mm.
time that you can look back on that you were maybe going through something and you thought you were behaving or handling it in like a healthy, normal way, but when you look back, you're like, oof, oh man, I was really going through
Everything?
it.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I have ADHD, one of the sort of manifestations of my ADHD is rejection
Oh,
dysphoria.
same. Yeah, big same, big same.
And what that means is that, on my podcast, which is on hiatus, but my first question on every episode was, "Are you mad at me?" And every week someone sends me that like Alice in Wonderland meme where the Cheshire Cat says, "We're all mad here," and then Alice says, "At me."
Classic.
So yeah, I think like there have been times when I, in my own fears of being rejected for whatever reason, have then, because I think it's because of that I have sort of anxious attachment.
Yeah.
And then that makes people respond how they respond to anxious attachment.
Yeah.
And it feeds on itself.
Yep.
So then whatever was there that was maybe nothing, maybe it was busyness on the other side, or maybe it was just needing a breather or whatever it was, then my anxious attachment actually manifests the actual rejection.
Yes. Yep. I can't tell you how much I relate to that. It's such a fucking, I was in one of those kind of spirals yesterday.
Buddy.
It's really like, even logically being like, it could be anything. Like, I wasn't getting a text. I was trying to do a nice gesture for somebody that I've been seeing whose birthday is today.
Happy birthday, person.
Yeah, happy birthday, person. And she is like in another country right now. So I was trying to like arrange a whole thing from a foreign country to like arrive today. And like I was like, but I was like trying to check in with her and I didn't get like a response right away. And I lost my mind for like 2 full hours. And then she was literally on a plane.
Yeah.
Like the reality of where my mind was going and what I was thinking. And then I was like talking to like my friends, trying to talk me off a ledge. And then being like, okay, it was literally like, and then it's like, oh God.
I mean, and
come on.
And the thing is that 98% of the time it's that.
Yeah.
And then there's the 2% of the time where it is something.
And then you're validated
and you're validated
fear.
in the fear. And so then that makes the other 98% much harder to experience.
Yes.
For that, because now you're like, well, but it could be like the time that so-and-so really was mad at me because of the thing.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And I really wish that I could be the kind of person who's like, yeah, I'm just not for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'll show you.
Really?
I'll bend however you need me to.
Yeah, exactly. I think I am for everyone.
I think if anyone could get everyone to like them, it's me.
It's gonna be me. Yeah, it's really it's tiring. I think it's tiring for the people in my life.
Yeah.
I think it's tiring even for my husband, where like I have no anxious attachment with him. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a very secure attachment.
Yeah.
And I never worry that he's mad at me, and that's never a thing. But he has to deal with me being like, I haven't heard back from so-and-so. And I'm starting to freak out. And then he'll always be like, you know that it's fine. Like, you never are actively harmful to anyone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that part is like, did I do anything?
Yeah, exactly.
I literally
like,
didn't do
absolutely
anything.
not.
Yeah.
Of course not. Like, there's nothing that you could have done. And he always has to sort of like, and it's just one of the wonderful quirks of being married to me is having to deal with me freaking out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So relatable. I mean, like I do the freak out, and then I also on the other end, in the way my ADHD manifests, as I've gotten, the older I get, the harder it is to mask or control it. And I used to be someone who would respond to texts like immediately, but now it's a thing where like, yeah, if it's right in my attention, I don't get sidetracked. But I'm also now I am the person who will like open a thing, respond in my head, never type the thing, then lose track of the thing. I try to like my best to mark something unread if I don't have time to address it the way I want to, but sometimes I forget and get just distracted by something, and then I'll have left somebody hanging on something that I'm like, oh fuck.
I mean, I have someone who wants to talk to me for the last week about something that I don't know her, but she wants to launch a thing and she wants to talk to me about it, and she keeps reaching out to me and I keep forgetting to, you know what I mean? And I hate myself for it. I mean, I hate myself for it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard because I am the person, because I do the same thing, exactly the same thing. I get a lot of texts in my car, like read to me by
Yes.
Siri.
Yes, that.
And then I'm like, oh, right back to that. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to do it right now because it's going to be lengthy and weird and I'll
Yeah.
sound crazy because it's talk to text.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
ADHD is a hell of a drug.
It's it's like a blessing and a curse, superpower and also greatest detriment. It's really like can show up in one or the other kind of way on any
Really?
given day or time or moment.
It's so crazy.
But
It's
the
really
immediate
exhausting.
blackout of forgetting why I went into a room for a thing is like a daily.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
like, good God, come on.
Or like we were talking about earlier, like, why am I reading about glyphosate?
Yeah.
Like, why? What got me
What the
here?
fuck? How
Why
did
am
I
I all
get
of a sudden
here?
now chair of the board of an anti-glyphosate active political action committee?
That's so
What
funny.
form did I just sign? Like literally, and it's like, how do I unwind this?
Literally,
Like,
what am I doing? How
what am
did
I
I get
doing?
here?
Why do I keep saying yes to things? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Another question for you. Do you have anything you might consider to be your weirdest coping mechanism or maybe your favorite coping mechanism when you're going through something? Those are two different things, or they
Two
could
different
be the
things.
same if you want them to be.
Well, I will say that the easiest thing for me in terms of a coping mechanism that actually does work, and it's so annoying that it works. And you know what I'm going to say? It's meditation.
Yeah.
And I went to the David Lynch School of Cinematic Arts for my
Mm-hmm.
MFA, and David, basically paid for all of us to learn TM, Transcendental Meditation,
Love
and
that.
it's so easy and so effective in
Yeah.
terms of giving me energy and calming my brain and making me not feel bad at things
Mm-hmm.
that I kind of almost don't do it as often as I should because I know it's there.
Yeah.
And it's so irritating because for so long people were like, meditation. I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck you for real.
Yeah.
That is never going to happen. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
My brain will never shut
Yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah. And for whatever reason, TM just actually does work. I think
Yeah.
it's because of the mantra thing. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
have a thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Emptying my brain will never happen.
Yeah.
But TM is very, very forgiving of your brain wandering
Okay.
and then saying, like, oh, look, I'm thinking about glyphosate again. Let me just come back to my mantra.
Yeah.
And you just say the mantra, and then your mind will wander. And then you
Mm-hmm.
go, oh, my mind wandered. Let me just come back to the mantra. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no like judgment.
That's so helpful.
And that's been really wonderful for
Yeah.
me. And I am very surfacey with TM. Do you know what I mean? Like I just practice it and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
dogmatic about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know, go to the things and do the things and whatever. Like people get
Yeah. Really into it.
really into they like
Yeah.
move to Iowa,
Oh,
like,
wow.
do everything.
Oh my God.
That's never gonna be me.
Yeah.
But it has been very, very helpful.
Yeah.
My weirdest coping thing is like that I'm a skin picker.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like my like
Me
little
too, actually.
compulsion.
I have that
It's
too. And it's
gross.
something that, because for me, I had my adult children of alcoholics 12-step journey kind of led to my ADHD discovery because there was so many things I was unpacking and realizing. And the shame I felt, like, first, it was like so many feelings of like realizing what things were that I've always done and what it is and where it comes from. Like, skin picking is one of them, like, especially because I have like eczema. So it's really easy to do that
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having like that kind of situation.
Yeah.
And then being like, how did nobody notice
Yeah.
this about me? And now I'm learning about how did I not know this about myself? Because
Right.
I'm finding out in my 30s. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was just so, yeah, to like learn that about yourself as an adult, it feels
Mhm.
so confusing because you're like, all these layers in which I didn't know myself, but then it
Mhm.
also makes sense just from when you come from a certain time and place
Mhm.
and like circumstance with your family. It's just like, right. Okay, of course. Because everyone was like having to work too much and too busy. And there was
Yeah.
just like, and I
Well,
was always
and
excelling in school. So
exactly.
it was very easy to miss.
Yeah, because girls ADHD and girls presents differently as
Yeah.
everybody knows. So,
Yeah.
we present with excelling in school, being high achieving, like
Yeah.
having a lot of
A
jobs,
million
having a lot of, yeah, exactly, a
extracurriculars.
million extracurriculars, like,
Hmm.
and it looks just like you're doing great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's and it manifests then when you get to like 35 and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. I think when I started realizing I was 34 and I
Mhm.
was like having these revelations and then going to my therapist, and then it's also been so interesting too, because there will be, because of coming to that realization so much later, like then I feel like all the boys are diagnosed when they're like 8 or something,
Mhm.
and it's like to find out at like 33, 34, and then now because I'm so used to thinking, oh, that's just a weird me thing, like for so long I was like, my brain's like a pinball machine, it's because I'm a Sagittarius, like that's the kind of logic I had about it, especially being in LA so long. I'm like, it's just because I'm a double Sagittarius.
I cry all the
No.
time because I'm a Cancer.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
to cry 7 times a day.
It was like my brain's go, it's like, and that's why. But then I'll like express these things to my therapist that are like issues I'm having or frustrations with myself that I'm having, and then she'll be like, hey, reminder, that's extremely common for people with
Yeah.
ADHD. And I'll be like, ah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's just like the way my brain works.
Yeah.
And we are only seeing it as a disorder because of the structure of the society in which we live.
Yeah.
But once we get the matriarchy going,
Whoop, whoop.
there will be much more
Room for us.
kindness and room for us. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. It's the biggest thing for me has been like being able to the people that are in my life, them knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that when I walk into a room and black out,
Yeah.
that they can do a nudge that isn't like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're researching glyphosate again?" I don't know why glyphosate keeps coming up.
It's so funny. I love it.
But it's like it's been really helpful in that sense too.
Yeah.
Like not just for my own recognition, but for my family, my friends.
Yeah, like I have the thing where I'm always, no matter how hard I try, I'm always like about 5 to 10 minutes late.
Mm.
And I've started now. I'm like, okay, I can't just like have this be an excuse forever. But luckily, like my family and friends are very patient with me, and I appreciate that. But also I've started doing the timer thing where
Yeah.
I'm setting like 7 timers to get my ass out of the house on time. And then I was at dance class on time for like the first time ever, like a couple
Amazing.
weeks ago. I was like, I did it.
I
did
think
it.
because at Atlantic, where I studied acting, if you were like they closed the door right at the start of class, and if you were late, you weren't allowed in class.
Oh my God.
Like they I mean, it's basically locking the door.
Yeah.
And you were marked absent.
And
after 3 absences, even if you had fucking mono,
yeah.
you dropped a letter grade.
Oh God, that's.
And so it was like it was ingrained that 15 minutes early was on time. I know that's such an annoying thing to hear, but it does help me. And so today when I was like literally 2 minutes late, as I was driving here, I was like, you fucking cunt.
No.
How you fucking dare you waste Teresa's time like
No.
this? Teresa's time is just as valuable as your time. And how dare you? Like,
and it's so funny because in my apartment, I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm running a little bit behind, even though I'm in the home where I record. I was just like, oh, time blindness, boop. I forgot I have to put makeup on. Like, oh shit. And then I was like finishing up my makeup, like, okay, I'm like taller than her, gonna get here at like the exact same time. Thank God.
And I heard you on the intercom say, if there's a woman out there, that's Leonora. And I laughed so hard at that.
Because I heard him say hi. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I should have described her. I was like,
if there's a woman out there, that's Leonora.
If there's a woman approaching, that's Leonora. Because I was like, because you had said you were arriving, and then he calls me that he's arriving. I'm like, so you're probably both arriving right now, and you could just kind of bring her on back.
That's amazing.
That's so funny. Okay, I have one more question for you before we wrap up. And so this is kind of like a choose your own adventure. You could choose one, or you could answer all of them if you so choose. So do you have something that you would consider to be your most problematic opinion that you're willing to admit on a public podcast? Or problematic behavior you engage in when you're losing your mind? Or just kind of a hot take that you generally want to like pop off about to the people?
How am I problematic? I'm probably problematic in a lot of ways. I mean, I think one way, I mean, I mean, does it count that I don't love gay people? Is that problematic?
Is it problematic that I think that gays are bad?
It's not bad, it's sinful. It's more the...
And I just came on your podcast to say, you're going to hell.
I'm here to save you.
That would be so funny if at the end of this it turned into you trying to...
It's a big retcon.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I think like one of the problematic things about me is that I grew up in a red state, and a lot of people that I grew up with are very conservative.
Yeah.
And I think I was always opinionated. I was raised by a really, really, my mother is extremely formidable, as they say. And so I was sort of unafraid, you know what I mean? To like, this is like me saying like, what's your biggest weakness? I work too hard.
Yeah.
But I do think
it's
like
valid.
I don't often allow, I waver between that opinion that like I wish I called people in more in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Like I've been very like, if you voted for him, fuck off forever.
Yes. And that's understandable.
Do you know what I mean? Because literally it's like, you've put my children at risk, like in every way.
Yeah.
You fucking cunts.
You've put like so many people that we love and us
Yes.
at
And
risk.
us. I mean, just like walking around in bodies.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe it's smarter as a movement and a party to say, it's nice over here, and let us tell you why. And we believe that you made a mistake, a grave mistake.
Yeah.
But don't fuck off forever, because don't we want people to change their minds?
Yeah.
Or do we want
totally.
people to be stuck in those things?
Yeah.
So like, I think, and I think that there are a lot of people on the left who don't appreciate that approach. Because of course not, because we're angry and it feels awful, and you want to say like, how can you not know what you've done?
Right.
And we want to hear like a set of words that will like absolve them. Like, I made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And that's not necessarily going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say that as much as that sounds like me saying my biggest weakness in a job interview is that I do think that I'm a little bit more center left than fully left in that sense.
Well, I think that there's value in that approach for sure. And also, I'm with you. Like, I understand why a lot of people on the left are not going to want to do that, especially because they are the communities most affected. I do think it's like white people's work to do that kind of engagement, especially because it is. And I do believe that a lot of the people who voted for him, as much as I'm also like, fuck you forever, and you put so many different types of people's lives at risk. I do also think that a lot of people who made that choice did so out of ignorance and craving for something different. And that I do think there is value in the call-in approach for certain portions. I think there's a big part of that community that will not hear anything.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there are people on that side that could be approached in that way for sure. And I do feel like it's because I wrote a whole essay about this on my Substack last year, where I was engaged in dialogue for months with an old friend of mine from Philly, and we were sharing so many of the same frustrations and we desired so many of the same things. And then I found out that she voted for him, and I was like, crazy that you thought that was the way to get there. But there are people who thought that was the way to get there, despite all of the like
evidence of the
contrary, because they were just like, it's really hard. And I obviously am like, I do not expect like trans people or black people or like any person of color who are the most affected communities from and in danger from him. I don't expect them to be the people who are going to be like, I'll call you in.
It's not their job.
It's not their job. But people like us who maybe like have that
bridge
point.
kind of, we have an entry point. Yeah,
exactly. But it is so fucking hard. It's really hard.
Do you follow Amanda's Mild Takes on Instagram? She's this amazing. She's a historian. She lives in Virginia. She's incredible. And she made a really good point, which is that when MAGA falls, there will be a vacuum and someone will fill it. And right now, that vacuum's not going to be towards the center.
Yeah.
It's not going to be old school GOP Republican, old-fashioned Bush Republicans or Reagan Republicans or whatever, how far back you want to go where they're not assholes. But they were always assholes. But anyway, so what's going to fill it is like the Nick Fuentes, the
Yes.
extreme far
Much
right.
more extreme, yeah.
And so this conversation about like, what do we do about boys has to be had.
Yeah.
Because they're having it on the right.
Yeah.
And that's why boys are moving to them, because just because they're boys doesn't mean that they don't have concerns about the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're valid people. They have just as much value as a woman
Mm-hmm.
or a trans person or a gay person.
Yeah.
So like having the conversation. So that's another place where I think I'm a little problematic, because I'm raising a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to raise a good man. I hope that I'm raising a good man.
Yeah.
But like the immediate shutdown of like, men have been talked about forever. They don't need to be a part of this conversation. I think that's to our detriment.
Oh, well, yeah, because that's the patriarchy hurts everyone.
It does.
Is the thing. And so what
Except
we
the people
need,
at the very
except the-
tippity top of the
exactly.
pyramid.
It's all of us against billionaires. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, that's literally what it is. That's the journey we're on right now. And in terms of the patriarchy, it instills this entitlement, but it also instills a complete lack of emotional awareness or ability to move through feelings or talk about feelings. And men are so shut down in that
Mhm.
way. And then there's also like certain populations of women who feed into that, who are like also brainwashed by the
Yes.
patriarchy, like, oh, if you're not chopping wood and doing this, then you're not a real man. And if
Yep.
you talk about your feelings or cry in front of me, I don't want to fucking see it. Like, there's all types that feed
Yes.
this. So I agree. And I think that we need to create safety for men to be able to, boys to be able to learn how to talk
Mhm.
about their feelings and work through their feelings and not go to these more destructive behaviors from it. And I don't think it's valuable to just act like we can't. Like, men exist. They have to be. Men and boys exist, and they will continue to, just like
Yes.
every other type of person.
Yes.
And so how do we all work together to create this matriarchal, non-hierarchical circle where everyone is safe and valued and
Yes.
cherished and uplifted?
Yes.
So it's like, that's obviously like,
That's the main
dream.
conversation. That's the
dream.
thing. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the like meadow on the other side of the thicket that I was talking about
Yeah.
on the group chat. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
as we're like fighting
exactly.
through this thicket, what is the future that we want to hold? Like,
Yeah.
what decisions are we making that get us to the future that is everything that we've ever dreamed of?
Yeah.
Where men have the opportunity to be their most full selves.
Yeah.
Like their beautiful full selves,
Yeah.
and like society holds them and
Mhm.
doesn't expect them to like shove everything down, because that's not manly.
No.
And where women are allowed to be whatever the fuck they want to be,
Yeah.
and like have absolute autonomy over their bodies and their reproductive health,
Yep.
and can choose whether, when, and how to have children.
Yeah.
And like, all those things are possible. There's
Totally.
but we have to like do the disaster thing of like,
Yes.
okay, we're in the burning house. Hold the image in your head
Yes.
of what you want the future to be. Like, why do you have to survive?
Yes. It's such a good, I loved that framing. I love that gift you offered to our group chat too, because it was like, yes, this is what is going to keep us going. And that's what we need. We need that now
Yeah.
to make sure that the world doesn't become completely uninhabitable for
Well,
us
exactly.
as well.
And like, also like when we're through this, because we will get through this.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the status quo.
No, not at all.
I want it to be better.
It needs to be better. It needs to be completely different.
Yes.
And yeah,
We've taken it to the end run of the
yes,
patriarchy.
We're
Do you know what I
at the
mean? We've
end.
seen like, what does it really look like? It looks like fucking
like
Epstein files.
Literally looks like the most horrific shit you could
The
possibly
most
imagine.
horrific shit. Like,
Yeah.
they did it. They did
Yeah.
all the things.
They did all the things.
They got to try it.
Yep. And goodbye now.
And great.
You have to go.
Now, please.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And on that note.
And on that note.
Oh my gosh, Leonora, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for when I said I wanted to be on your podcast, saying yes.
Yeah, oh my God, of course. You're always somebody that's an Erwin did the same thing. I'm like, trust you were always gonna be on the podcast. I'm gonna work my way through the whole dance chat eventually. I know.
Good.
I'm just like, I'm
such a good group.
Just like you, I'm involved in many different types of artist communities. I'm like, so I'm gonna have a real well-rounded real well-rounded slot of guests.
Well, this is an amazing podcast. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Your home is beautiful.
Thank you.
Your dog is amazing.
Oh, thanks so much.
It's just a joy to be with you always.
Oh, it's such a joy to be with you too. And I hope to see you in dance class tomorrow.
Me too.
And you can follow Leonora on Instagram at Leely Pitts. Is it just Leely Pitts, right? Okay, at Leely Pitts, LeeLeePitts. And follow everything she does because she's an amazing artist in every single way imaginable. Thanks you.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman. This podcast is hosted, created, and edited by me, Theresa Bateman, produced by Ali Giordani. Our perfect theme song is written and performed by Tolliver. We are an independent podcast, so if you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. And you can also join us as a paid subscriber on Substack for any exclusive bonus content, or if you just want to support the podcast and what we do. Bye!
And light another dude, cause it's what? It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. Them boys, they love the trauma. Them girls, they love the drama. NB just slapped my mama. Oh God, here comes the karma.